In times of crisis, fear forces its way into our lives. John records that Joseph of Arimathea was a disciple of Jesus, but secretly because he feared the Jewish leaders. It's extraordinary how fear drives us into ourselves. There are so many what-ifs, so many unknowns that we cope with, particularly at this time. And fear is begotten of ignorance and uncertainty. The ignorance of what will people say if they knew my thoughts, my hopes, my desires, my ambitions, my fears, and the uncertainty of how they would react if they knew. And I'm sure Joseph had that same sense. What if I told them I was a follower of Jesus? And that fear drove him to keeping it a secret. Søren Kierkegaard, the Danish philosopher, said that the difference between an admirer and a follower is always the same no matter where you are. The admirer never makes any meaningful sacrifices. He always wants to play it safe. But there are risks involved in trying to live a life that is not playing it safe. And those risks naturally will bring fear. And so often I think of the way in which we react to the people around us. But when our fears are exposed, they're shown not to be so. Joseph must have been really concerned. He was a prominent person. What would they think of him if he were mentioning the fact that he was a follower of Jesus, not just an admirer of Jesus, but someone who was actually prepared to stand up for Jesus? And so he faced his fears. When it is fearful, and when we are fearful, and it appears that our own convictions will be drowned out or dismissed by others, we need to face them, not try and forget them, and use the opportunities to be able to expose the fear that we have to the person of Jesus, which is of course what happened with Joseph of Arimathea. Joseph stood up for him, and at that moment when he nailed his colors to the Jesus mast, at that moment he changed from being merely an admirer to being a follower. And I'm quite sure that the fear that he had was dealt with by being prepared to be open with his fears. So at this time, we are fearful, we are concerned, but no point in having these secrets as to what might happen when actually, for the most part, they never do.